Comes right on out. Off, which as you can see, I already did. Line the teeth up, let it go. Alright guys, we're going to start on the steering wheel. First thing you want to do is disconnect your battery. And no, it wasn't that loose. I already loosened it. YouTube magic. So now, the next thing you want to do is take out the 10mm bolts. One from right here and one on the other side as well. And that allows the airbag and horn assembly to be removed and then unplug all the wires. The reason you're going to unplug the battery is because you are dealing with your airbag. You do not want to set that thing off. It is not fun if it goes off in your face. Personal experience of my Duramax after hitting a deer. So not the Jeep. Luckily, hopefully I should say. So with the two bolts out, they're just two 10mm bolts out of there. This assembly comes right on out. And then the part that freaks me out the most is dealing with an airbag. So what you're gonna do is this one and that one is for your airbag. So what you're going to do is you're going to pinch this. You're just going to pop that wire out, pinch this. You're going to pop that out as well. And then as for right here, what you'll do is you'll pull that apart, and there is your airbag horn assembly. So when you go to actually pinch these off, you'll actually feel right where they are. They're just these right here, just this little section right there, and then just pinch in, and then you can pull them right out. Okay, next we're gonna unplug this right here. That is for your clock spring, which mine is broken, so it doesn't really matter for me. And then we're gonna take this bolt out right here. Now we're gonna take out the center bolt, which is a 13mm on my 2013 JKU. A little bit of force will usually do it. If not, use an impact. I have my snap-on impact, but it still gets the job done. Now this will have orange Loctite on it, which is actually a high strength removable Loctite, which I actually do have some right here because I used it the other day. Thread locker orange, it's high strength removable. Now we're going to get our two jaw puller, put our two jaw puller in here, and we're going to pull the steering wheel assembly off of the center hub. So basically what you'll do once you get this on here, you'll tighten this down and it'll slowly pull the steering wheel off. It is a bear to get in here, but once you do, it'll pop right off, which as you can see, I already did. And you can see this is what's left of my clock spring and all of the broken pieces that came with it. Now, with doing this to the PRP steering wheel, you will not have a clock spring, you will not have a horn, you won't have any of your actual steering wheel controls anymore on either side. And since your cruise is on here, you will not have cruise anymore, so you'll have to figure out a different way to do that if you want to keep it. And there's the broken clock spring that was the cause of all of this, because they are on indefinite back order right now. So the dealership told me, oh, we don't even know when we'll get one in. So with that being said, I was like, well, I guess I'll order a new steering wheel and a quick disconnect and just be done with it. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take this adapter bracket that comes from Genrite with the quick disconnect, and there's a smooth spot on those teeth inside there, and there's a smooth spot right up here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to line those up the best we can, and then this bolt we're going to take, we're going to put some orange thread locker on, which that's probably way more than I needed, but hey, it's a steering wheel, right? So we're going to take these, line them up the best we can, and then we're going to take a 8mm Allen for this bolt, put it all the way in, I'm going to turn backwards slightly and then forwards so I can start that bolt and not cross thread it. And we're going to slowly tighten this down. Alright, we got that tightened down, and as you can see, it's nice and seated up right up against here, so that'll be fine. If you actually want, you can actually cut that out just slightly, so that way you don't have any rubbing issues, but I think we'll be okay. So now we're gonna get that steering wheel on. So now the way this works is, this is the quick disconnect right here, and then it just has a plate, which is right here, which is, this one's going to be for my horn, this one's going to be for my push to talk, which will be when we're out in the trails, I can push this button and I will be able to talk to all the other Jeeps in our crew or other vehicles, whatever. And then this one's going to be for my horn, because since I don't have my horn button anymore, I have to make one, and that's what that's going to be for. I do not have the buttons for these yet, so I am still waiting on those to arrive. But basically, since this has a cover on it, these screws right here bolt right into the back, or to the face of the quick disconnect, and then this plate that'll hold those buttons is sandwiched in between, and that's how it goes on. And then when you want to take it off, you grab this little flange, and if you can see that detent right in there, there's one on the other side as well, but if you pull, that moves out of the way and allows you to pull a steering wheel off, and then you let it go and it moves back into place. So let's go put this thing on. So now we can put this on. All you have to do is grab that flange, pull in, hold it in, line your teeth up, slide it on, let go of that flange, and you got yourself a brand new PRP Shreddy steering wheel. Heck yeah, that looks sweet, guys. I'm gonna show you guys this from a different angle. This is the groove that detent locks into. That's in that quick disconnect, which you can see is right there. So when you pull that back, it moves. And when it releases, it moves forward. There's also another one on the other side as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull that flange back, line up our teeth, drop it in place, let go, and as you can see, it's not coming off. That thing is absolutely amazing. So, well guys, as you can see, that didn't take me very long at all. With filming, it probably still only took me about maybe 30 minutes. Without filming, it would probably take 15 to 20 minutes. The hardest part is actually going to be getting your 2-jaw puller onto the steering wheel to pull the steering wheel off, because it's such a tight spot, and at least the one that I have isn't really made for such small areas, because mine's a very large 2-jaw puller. If you get a smaller model of that, it'd probably be way easier, because there's actually pieces of the steering wheel that are cut out that you can actually, what looks to be the spot where you would actually put the 2-jaw puller to actually pull a steering wheel off. But remember guys, if you're going to do this to your Wrangler or any vehicle, you are not going to have a horn unless you wire one in, which is what I'm going to do. You will not have a clock spring. You will not have anything that is controlled on your steering wheel. That stuff, all those wires come out, and you will not have that anymore. So just remember that, because if that's something that you're really worried about, where, oh, I need to have my cruise control, or I need to have my radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, then this is definitely not for you, because all that stuff is gone with that steering wheel. This, for me, it's not a big deal, because I figured I can just reach over, do whatever I want with the radio. I don't have cruise. I don't have ABS. The clock spring was already broken. It was indefinite when I could even get one. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I was going to do it anyways, because the seats that we're getting from PRP, the side bolsters are actually pretty high. So for me to be able to take the steering wheel off to get in and out and get my legs over top of that high bolster is going to make it so much easier. Now for the passenger, it's not that big of a deal, because they don't have a steering wheel in the way of them getting out and trying to squeeze their legs through. And even if the missus was in there and she was going to get out and she had the steering wheel on, for how small she is, she could probably squeeze right through there. Me, on the other hand, not a small guy, so it's going to make it much easier. So with that being said, guys, what you can do next is you can come on over and reconnect your negative battery terminal, tighten everything down. As you can hear, the beeping's going off inside. Which is because all my doors are open, and it's kind of obvious why it's going off, but make sure you tighten your negative battery terminal down, and after that, you guys are set to go. So I'll get some video of once I get all the Jeep closed backed up, and then we're gonna actually take it off down the road, and I'll get some good shots of it as we're cruising down the road. All right, guys, start it up. And before, I actually had a check engine light and another light over here as well about my clock spring being broken. But since that whole thing is completely out. Those lights shut off, so that's great. As you can see, I have traction control, my brake, airbags, and ABS. That's all because my clock spring is broken and I don't have ABS anymore. And then the brake is because the parking brake isn't hooked up. I'm still waiting on parts to arrive so I can actually hook up my parking brake as well. So let's see how she drives. Alright guys, we're back in the storage unit. I actually noticed that the steering wheel was super tight and hard to turn. So I went back, loosened up that center bolt, pulled this out a little bit, and then put some more Loctite on it, and then tighten that bolt back down, just snug up against this. And once that Loctite dries, it's not gonna move back and forth. Like, you literally cannot push that plate forward any further. So now the steering wheel turns nice. So let's see how she drives. Take two. That's a lot easier compared to what it just was. Now that I can see this is where I'm going straight, I'm gonna pull up on that, rotate my wheel, and put that back on about as close as I can get it. That's gonna be too far off. That's gonna drive me nuts. So always when you guys, if you do this and you put a quick disconnect on, when you put it on there, make sure you grab the wheel and you pull it towards you to make sure the wheel doesn't come off. Because obviously that'd be a bad idea while you're driving. We're going off the road. This is very dangerous. Don't worry. I'm in a closed course. I'm a trained professional. Or something along those lines for the warning. Don't do this at home. Do it at a friend's house. And if you guys aren't already, make sure to go over and hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you guys can make sure you get the notifications when we upload, so you don't miss anything. You like the new steering wheel, Carl? Do you like it?
Does it move?
What do you mean? Oh.
Daddy, the door.
Can you move it?
The door.
Wait, want Daddy to take it off again?
He broke it. Oh no. He broke it. That's okay, we fix it. Ready? There we go. I get it lined up.
The
Is that
door.
still cool?
Yeah, shut the door. You going for a drive? Do you like the new wheel? Look it. Do you see them? They're doing their thing, dude. Just boom, boom, boom. Yeah.